Okay, welcome back. We are now going to our second segment where we'll be solving the next five questions. Question number six to question 10. Right. So, question number six is saying the diagram shows two cylinders A and B. Cylinder A has a height 1.6 meters and a radius 0.56 meters. Work out the curved surface area of the cylinder A. Give your answer in meters squared correct to three significant figures. So what's given to us is the height of the two cylinders. So let's work out the length scale factor of the cylinders. So the scale factor for length is 1.6 over 0.6, which is 8 over 3. Leave it as a fraction. Don't try to convert it into a decimal. Okay. So the scale factor for area will be 8 squared divided by 3 squared, which is 64 over 9. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to find out the curved surface area of cylinder A. Now the reason I worked out this is not this is not required for the first part of the question, but for the second part of the question we will be needing this calculation. So leave that calculation there. The curved surface area of cylinder A. We know the curved surface area is pi 2 pi r h. That is the curved surface area of a cylinder, where r is the radius and h is the height. So that's going to be 2 times pi times 0.56 times 1.6. Okay, so we are getting 5.63 correct to three significant figures, because you're getting 5.6297. If you want to write it correct to three significant figures, 1, 2, 3, so you get 5.63 meters squared. Now they're saying cylinder B is mathematically similar to cylinder A. The height of cylinder B is 0.6 meters. Work out the radius of cylinder B. Okay, so we know the scale factor of length is 8 out of 3. Okay, so I'm trying to find out the length of the radius of the cylinder B. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 0.56. I'm trying to find out the smaller one, divided by 8 over 3, which will give me 0.56 multiplied by 3 over 8, and the answer is going to be 0.21 centimeters. Okay, because we're trying to find out the radius of the smaller cylinder. Now here they haven't asked us to work out the area, but if you wanted to work out the area, curved surface area of the smaller cylinder, then you should have used this scale factor, which is the scale factor for area. Okay, so that was a nice 4-mark question, right? Now we move on to the next question. Question on mean median mode. Here I always prefer to use this triangle. I say the total, the number of values and the mean. So if you divide the total by the number of values, you get the mean. If you want to work out the total, you multiply the mean and the number of values. Now let's look at the question. There are 28 students in class A and 32 students in class B. The mean score for all the students in both classes is 72.6. The mean score of the children in class A is 75. So what we do first is, let's see how many students are there. So total students is, and their mean So what was the total score of those 60 students? The total score of the 60 students would be 60 times 72.6, which is 4,356. And the mean score of the students in class A is 75. So let's see, in class A there are 28 students. So for class A, mean is 75, number of students is 28. So the total score of those 28 students is 28 times 75, which is 2,100 times 75, yeah, 2,100. So what is the total score of the students in class B? So the total score of the students in class B, I'm going to write it down here because class B is 4,356 minus 2,100. 2,256, and number of students write it a bit clearly. Okay, so the total number of students is 2,256, and students there are 32. So the mean will be 2,256 divided by 32, and the answer is 70.5. Okay. Now the next part is saying the lowest score in class A is 39. The range of score in class A is 57. The lowest score in class B is 33. The range of score in class B is 60. Find the range of scores for all the students in both classes. Okay, so what is the highest in class A. That is going to be 39 plus 57, because range is the highest value minus the lowest value. It's 96, and highest in class B is equal to, which is 93. So what is the overall highest in the two classes combined? The overall highest is 96. And what is the lowest in both the class combined? The lowest in both the class combined is 33. So the range will be going to be 96 minus 33, which is 63. That is the combined range of the whole class, two classes. Question number 8. Work out the value of x. Give your answer correct to three significant figures. This is a right angle triangle. We have got one side given, one angle given. So let's label the sides. Obviously, the longest side is the hypotenuse. The side that's opposite the given angle is the opposite side. And this is obviously the adjacent side. We are looking for the hypotenuse. The adjacent is given. So hypotenuse and adjacent. If you look at this, we have got, so this is a formula you need to remember, because they don't give this formula anymore in the formula sheet. Since the 9-to-1 syllabus curriculum started, they stopped giving this formula in the formula sheet. So we have been given the adjacent. We are looking for the hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse is the cos. So I'm going to do cos of 52 degrees is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, 12.6 over x. So we're looking for the hypotenuse here. Cover it. So what do? We do adjacent divided by cos. So x is equal to 12.6 over cos 52 degrees. And that gives you okay, so 12.6 divided by cos 52, that gives you 20.46. You have to give it to three significant figures. So your answer is, to three significant figures, it's going to be 20.5 centimeters. 3-mark question. Next question, simultaneous equation, x plus y is equal to 15, 7x minus 5y is equal to 3. Right. So I'm going to use the process of elimination. So here, first I'm going to multiply the first equation by 5. Okay. You can multiply by 7 as well. So if I multiply the first equation by 5, I will get 5x plus 5y is equal to 75. Underneath that, I'm going to write down 7x minus 5y is equal to 3. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add these two equations, because 5y and 5y are similar and one is positive, one is negative. So when I add the equations, 5x plus 7x is 12x, 5y minus 5y cancels out, and 75 plus 3 is 78. Okay, so the value of x is going to be 78 over 12, which is 6.5. So I write 6.5 here. Now we're going to substitute the 6.5 into x plus y. So I'm going to write substitute x equals 6.5 in x plus y equals 15. So I'm going to write 6.5 plus y equals 15. Y equals 15 minus 6.5, which is 8.5. So y is equal to 8.5. Okay. So you can test, like you can substitute into the equations and see if it works. Like x is 6.5 and y is 8.5. If you add them, you're going to get 15. At the same time, if you multiply 7 times 6.5, that gives you 45.5. And if you minus 5 times 8.5, that will give you a total of 3. All right. Okay. Now the last question of this segment is an indices question. Right. So 8 over 2 to the power of 7 is equal to 2 to the power of n. So what I'm going to do, we need to find the value of n. So what I can do is, first I can write 8 as 2 to the power of 3 over 2 to the power of 7 is 2 to the power of n. When I divide the same numbers with different powers, I subtract the powers. So 3 minus 7, that's going to be 2 to the power of negative 4 is 2 to the power of n. So the value of n is obviously negative 4. In the second part, find the value of k. So we know power raised to a power, we multiply the power. So that is going to be 13 to the power of negative 24. 4 times 6, negative 24, times by 13 to the power of 5 is equal to 13 to the power of k. Now when you multiply, you add the power. So 5 add negative 24 is negative 19. So 13 to the power of negative 19 is 13 to the power of k. So k is equal to negative 19. And that is your answer. So that brings us to the end of the second segment, which is questions 6 to question 10. Right?